Hey guys, well man, is this a cluster? Literally. Now I'll show you what I'm up to. I got several instrument clusters laying around here, and what these are, getting a good one complete good unit together to put in the dart out there. And so I thought I'd just kind of give you a little overview of what I'm doing. This is the original one that was in it. This is the front of it. See, it's kind of been, what happened, I started experimenting with doing some masking and painting, and my intention was to get it restored back to the wood grain, which is not hard, it's not hard to duplicate that when you have the right paint. But I kind of got into it a little bit and had some problems, so I just set it aside, and that's where it's sat. This is the back to it. This is the original back out of that car out there, the part that holds the actual instruments in place. And this is this came out of that white 71 Plymouth. This is a good cluster, and I'm not going to take this apart per se. I just want to show it to you just to show you the differences. And the other day I actually ran across a guy that had another cluster, which is in decent condition. It's the right one for my car, and I'll show you what the differences are in them. They are interchangeable. You can put one out of a 70 or 71 Plymouth into a 76 Plymouth, and it'll work just fine. It's no problem there. But there's just some visual differences, and I'll show you what these are. If I can kind of work the camera and everything. You see, they same layout, and these will probably actually go into an earlier Plymouth also. I say the shape is the same, so I would say they'll probably actually will interchange. But this is a 71, this is a 73, and you see the main difference is that this has the fasten seatbelt light right there. That lights up from behind. It's got a little hole there for the bulb holder. It's actually just got its own bulb holder that's kind of wired in loose. It doesn't screw into the cluster. And also it's got where the wipe and wash and all that is. On this one it's kind of recessed and it'll light up right there. And this one just has it's just kind of a just raised letters. It's a little bit different. So like I said, I want to keep this cluster together. It's a good one, and I don't want to take it apart, so I'm just going to, between these two later clusters, I'm just going to mix and match. I'm not going to restore them because it's hard to do, and the rest of the car's not been restored, so there's no point in it. Just looking at these instruments here, first of all, you can see the speedometer. I don't know how well you can see that, but I don't know what in the world happened to that speedometer. It looks pretty bad. So what my thinking is, I think I'm going to use that speedometer and that backing plate, and then take the temperature gauge and the fuel gauge out of this one and use them, because those over there, I don't like the way they're, you notice how far down past the first mark they are, both of them. It makes me think that I got fried. There's a thing on the back of these called a instrument voltage regulator. It's right here, and it's that thing. And basically what it does is it well, that doesn't look good. I had a windshield leak. That's your alternator connection, but ammeter, excuse me. But what they do is, these gauges are meant to run on about 5 or 6 volts, so it steps down the voltage. You got 12 volts coming in, so it steps down the voltage so it doesn't burn the instruments up. So if you ever have one of these and the instruments start doing something weird, like, and I'm not talking about the speedometer, I'm talking about these two primarily. Ammeter's on its own circuit, it doesn't matter about it, but these two, if they start doing something flaky, like they both go up and then come back down, or jumping, or go all the way over to the peg, you need to address that right away, because it'll burn these out. Next thing you'll see some smoke. It'll let the smoke out of them. And this one, I've seen several of these alternator ammeters. That one looks a little weird. It's reading slightly too high even at rest with no voltage, so I'm not sure about that. Plus it looks like it had water in it, so I'll probably use that one. But I've seen those things get so overheated that the needle actually falls off. There ain't no needle left in it. So alright, well, these are pretty easy to take apart. I'll just show you real quick. You just got screw holes around the perimeter, and just take that out and it all comes out. Got a spare headlight switch, and there's a lot of people around that don't quite remember how these headlight switches come out. I mean, the knob, you know, you push it and you know, you pull it out and it comes all the way out to on, and that's it, and you don't know how to get it to the stem. They always come out usually, and what it is, there's a little button here on the side of the switch. You just push it. This one might actually fall out now, but you just push that button. There it goes. That's all you gotta do. And I'm going to swap the wiper switches also, because this one I may have to use one out of that one because they're different. This one's got wipe and wash. That's a little bit different. I think this one said wipe, or what did it say? I don't know if I can get that out of there or not. Yeah, it just says wiper. Let's see if I can swap that. But what that means is, that means that this car actually had an electric electric washer pump on it. Some of them did. It was just optional. And you can see the switch back here has an additional position on it, a little thing made onto it. So I'll keep that switch. It's good to have that, but I don't need it because that car doesn't have that. It's got the old foot crank. This thing's had some water in it. I can see. Looks kind of corroded. Alright, well, let me do some disassembly. I'm doing this in the living room because I don't have enough light in the kitchen. That light don't work too good, so I'm going to start taking things apart and see what we get.